You know, we've all heard about the placebo effect, right? The whole idea that a sugar pill can make you feel better just because you think it will. But what if that's not the whole story? What if it's actually something much, much deeper? A powerful mechanism that's literally hardwired into our brains.
So people always ask, is it all just in your head? Is it just about thinking positive thoughts and wishing yourself better?
Well, the answer is kinda yes and no. It's not in your head like some vague idea. It's physically in your brain. And as we're about to find out, your brain has been hiding some pretty amazing secrets about how this all really works.
For the longest time, we just chalked the placebo effect up to mind over matter. You expect something to work, and so you feel better. Pretty simple.
And that leads us to the textbook definition you probably learned in school. A placebo effect is a good health outcome that happens because you anticipate, you consciously expect that some treatment is going to help you. Sounds straightforward, right? But this is really just the beginning of the story.
Because this is where things get really wild. What if that positive effect from one placebo could just spread to a totally new and different treatment? And even crazier, what if the whole thing could be set off without you even consciously knowing it was happening?
Okay, so let's unpack that first idea, this spreading effect. Scientists have a name for it, generalization, and it shows just how incredibly good our brains are at learning and adapting on the fly.
So generalization is just the sciencey term for when your brain learns a response to one thing, say a placebo cream you think is for pain, and then applies that same response to something else that's just kind of similar, like a new patch you've never seen before. Your brain is basically going, close enough, let's run the pain relief program.
Here's a perfect way to picture it. Step 1. You're taught that a specific blue cream makes your pain go away. Step 2. Your brain locks in that connection. Blue cream means relief. So what happens down the road when someone gives you a totally new blue patch? Your brain generalizes, and boom, the patch reduces your pain too, even if it's completely fake. And listen, this isn't just some fun thought experiment. As you can see from this chart, a big 2023 review pulled together 16 different studies on this, and the conclusion was totally clear. There is solid, consistent evidence that both good placebo effects and bad nocebo effects can spread like this. It's a real, measurable thing.
All right, so we know the effect can spread, but now for the second and, honestly, the most mind-bending part of this, what if the trigger for this whole process is something you literally can't even see? This is the exact question a team of researchers wanted to answer. Could they trigger a learned placebo response using a cue that flashes by so fast your conscious mind never even sees it?
And the way they tested this was just brilliant. First, they trained people to associate seeing certain faces with either high pain or low pain. Then they started flashing those same faces on a screen for just 12 milliseconds. We're talking way, way faster than a blink of an eye before immediately hiding it. The cue was totally subliminal.
So, did it actually work? I mean, just look at this graph. The answer is a massive yes. Even when people had absolutely no clue which face they had just seen, their pain ratings changed in a big way. The hidden high pain face made them feel more pain, and the hidden low pain face made them feel less. All of it triggered by something they never consciously saw. So we've got proof it works. These invisible triggers actually changed how people felt. But the billion-dollar question is, how? What in the world is going on inside the brain to make that happen? Well, to find out, the researchers used fMRI scans to, look under the hood and find the brain's secret pathways. And what they found is just so cool. It turns out the brain doesn't just have one single pathway for the placebo effect. It actually uses totally different circuits depending on whether you're aware of the trigger or not. It's like it has two different operating systems running in the background.
So check out the brain scan for the unconscious placebo, the one that gave pain relief. A deep brain area called the orbitofrontal cortex, or OFC, lit up like a Christmas tree. Now this isn't your high-level, I'm thinking hard part of the brain. Nope. This is a core part of your reward system. The brain basically saw the hidden cue as a reward and automatically dialed down the pain.
And what about the unconscious nocebo, where the pain got worse? Well, a whole different crew took over. Your brain's ancient fear and threat detectors, parts like the amygdala and the thalamus, fired up. The brain spotted a hidden threat and immediately cranked up the pain response, all happening way below the level of consciousness. Okay, let's step back and pull all of this together. We've got an effect that can spread to new things, and it can be triggered by invisible cues that talk directly to these deep, ancient parts of our brain.
So, why is this so important? It matters because it completely changes how we should think about all this. The placebo effect isn't just about conscious belief or positive thinking. It is a fundamental, powerful type of learning, where your brain automatically makes connections between things in your world and health outcomes, whether good or bad. So let's just quickly run through the big takeaways. 1. Your brain can be trained to expect either pain relief or more pain. 2. That training isn't stuck. It can spread to new things. 3, and this is the showstopper, the whole system can be kicked into gear by triggers you don't even know are there. And 4, none of this is magic. It's all based on real, measurable activity in your brain's reward and threat centers.
Honestly, the researchers who did the fMRI study said it best. They wrote, "Our results suggest that health-related behaviors can be triggered by cues that are not consciously perceived." That just opens up a whole new way of thinking about how our world is constantly and silently shaping our health.
Which really leaves us with one final, incredible thought. Our brains have this built-in, ancient power to learn how to heal themselves or to harm themselves, all running on autopilot just beneath the surface. So the big question is, what could we possibly achieve if we finally learned how to tap into that hidden power on purpose?